After 14 days in the ship, the bike had arrived in Colombo and I've sat on the bike for the first time. And in those 14 days, I've been riding bikes like the S1000RR. I still feel right at home on the Dominar. As xBhp, we had already done over 50 countries on some of the world's best superbikes and sometimes supercars too. Before the start of this Odyssey from India all the way to Singapore and beyond to Sri Lanka via Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia and Malaysia. And this would be a total of 15,000 kilometers in 90 days for a total of 11 countries. And we would be doing this on a homegrown Bajaj Dominar 400s. Not only that, there will be 11 riders who will be joining us in different legs of this Odyssey. But you have to see all the vlogs one by one to find out who they were.
Welcome to Sri Lanka, guys. We are meeting after a gap of 2 weeks. The last we met was in Singapore when we were shipping the bikes from Singapore and we were putting them in a container to be brought to Sri Lanka. Right now we are here in Colombo and the bikes are over there. We are seeing the bikes after a gap of 2 weeks. So the bikes took about 10 days to reach Sri Lanka from Singapore and here they are. And the bikes look ready to roll right now. You don't need to do anything, just fill up the petrol and just ride, explore this beautiful country. Let's try to start it. So remember, the bikes have not been started for the last 2 weeks. Ignition on and let's try to start it. Yes, feels nice. We have about a week's time to explore this tiny little island of a country, and this is the last country on the xBhp Dominar Great Asian Odyssey. So yes, we have two very special people. First, I will go to Pratiksha.
Hi.
Pratiksha left us in Singapore one day before we left, and now she has joined us back in Sri Lanka. But she will not be riding here.
I'll be just handing over the keys to
yes. So she came here to do the handover process. Yes, handover of the bikes. And yes,
hi guys.
Cherry. This is Cherry vlog.
Yeah, this is Cherry vlogs from Chennai actually. So having some tender water.
Looking forward to ride the Bajaj Dominar in Sri Lanka.
Very excited actually. And thank you so much xBhp for choosing me to ride here with you. And it's really a pride moment for me.
So the bikes are out of the container and going to ride them here on the Sri Lankan roads for the very first time. Let's start.
We landed in Sri Lanka, country number 11 on the xBhp Dominar Great Asian Odyssey. In the second week of January, after a gap of about 2 weeks while the bikes were being transiting from Singapore. As a last guest rider, we also had Cherry Vlogs to ride with us in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, just like Singapore, proved to be quite difficult in terms of paperwork, and we spent about 2 days in Colombo just to get our papers sorted. There was a long list of documents that we needed to ride the Dominars legally here, but we finally managed to do it. To be honest, riding in Colombo wasn't really a great experience. Though the tarmac quality was good and traffic here was much better managed than in India, the roads were narrow and prone to traffic jams, which made it a less than pleasurable experience.
So, the breakfast time. Sri Lankan team.
While traveling in another country, you need to have a bit of flexibility in your riding plans. And the Dominar 250 that has just been launched by Bajaj offers you similar kind of flexibility with an attractive price tag without compromising on power or style. The Dominar 250 has been launched by Bajaj especially keeping in mind those riders who are just getting into the world of touring. And the Dominar 250 is a powerful and value for money motorcycle that can tackle any kind of terrain. You can visit your nearest Bajaj dealership to find out more about the Dominar 250. For now, let's get back to the Odyssey. Alright, so finally after 14 days in the ship, the bike had arrived in Colombo and I've sat on the bike for the first time. And in those 14 days I've been riding bikes like the S1000RR, the Indian FTR, the Hayabusa, and I still feel right at home on the Dominar. So this is the Colombo traffic here in Colombo 2. So it's like they include they straight away say the pin code Colombo 1, Colombo 2, 5, 8 and things like that, and until you reach the suburbs. And I'm in Colombo 2, which is almost I reckon the city center, and lot of Bajaj autos here again. This one is a TVS. There's also a tractor right here in the heart of the city. Alright. Oh, look at this bus. Turbo Power Series Crisis 3. Yeah, this is sweet. Okay. And it's hot. Right now in Delhi it's around 10 degrees and here it must be around 30. So that is a difference. But Sri Lanka is in the same time zone, the Indian Standard Time. So that is something which was a little bit of a surprise. Is actually in a straight line almost down below India, so obviously it's logical. But a lot nearer to the equator, hence I don't think they have anything called a winter here in Sri Lanka. The Colombo traffic is crazy. The roads are narrow. The overall riding sense, driving sense here is much better compared to India. But the roads are narrow, as you can see, and yeah, that's the only problem. People generally follow traffic rules here. They stop at the red lights. They don't unnecessarily speed. At least this is what we have noticed in Colombo. This has to be the happiest name of a fuel station, Laughs. So here we are going to have our emission test, which is going to be somewhere over here. Oh, there's a decent line. So this is the emission testing center here. So we are right now here in Sri Lanka at Vehicle Emission Test Center. And unlike India, the process here is very thorough. So here is the first step. They are checking all the chassis number and the engine number, cross-checking everything. Then after the visual inspection is done, he will give us this certificate of visual inspection, okay, and then we go there to get the pollution done. The process is like I said, very thorough, and it's exhaustive. Yeah, we've been here for almost
half an hour here, more than half an hour.
So finally, they don't know how to categorize foreign vehicles for a pollution check. So we have been waiting for more than 1 hour, which is supposed to only take 5 minutes. And now finally we have figured it out. So they check chassis number and all these kind of things. Here we go, I think. Yes. Prepping up the machine. Right? The number was there, the bike number. And now I have to start the engine from here. Yes.
So finally done with the emission and vehicular test. It took more than an hour here, but it was a job of 5 minutes. The reason for the delay was because our bikes have Indian number plates, and they needed some clarity on how to process this. But the staff here was very helpful and very courteous. Now that we have the emission test, there's one more piece of paper that we need to get from the secretariat, and that is the revenue certificate. So it should not take much time either, but fingers crossed. Exploring Colombo in pursuit of one last piece of paper before we are 100% free to ride in Sri Lanka. And that piece of paper is a revenue certificate, which we will get from the divisional secretariat in Maligawate, Colombo.
I can see myself in the mirror. The Joker. No game, no excuse. Have too much to learn. I know that not. Oh my god, so many things written on the back of this auto. Is like a book in itself. So I was told about this traffic in Sri Lanka, but yes, it is a little bit too much. Hello, young man. I really thought this was a guy standing on the red light. I don't know what's written, but alright. Okay, you can take a ride like this. Fine. Fully insured yoga transport. We got some nice graphics on the back of buses here. Oh, I like the color green. Well, this is a mosque, and there was a church on the right side of the mosque, and I won't be surprised if there is a temple really close as well. So there is traffic everywhere so far. And of course this is Colombo, the biggest city in Sri Lanka, but I've heard that most of the roads are narrow everywhere in Sri Lanka, but the quality is okay. So we shall find out that very soon, because this last paper that we have to take after this thing gets even narrower. Divisional Secretariat Colombo is where we have to go. It's there. That is where we have to go. Oh god, this paperwork. Oh, this smells so good. Sri Lankan spicy foods. And so bikes above 150, I think 200cc, they are not really common in Sri Lanka. And a few people have already asked us that what capacity this motorcycle is, and I think it is very difficult to import a motorcycle above 400 in Sri Lanka. That is what I've heard. This gentleman is very happy to see the bike. So not too many travelers like this in Sri Lanka. Busy Certified Accountant, BCA. My god. And ahead of me, that is a Lotus Tower. I think this is 350 meters tall, and this is the longest, highest self-supported structure in Southeast Asia. What does that mean? Not quite sure, but yeah. Alright, so the autos here take the cake of being everywhere like flies. Mini Cooper for a change. Look at Google Maps, absolutely red almost everywhere. So finally the paperwork has been sorted, and we are now headed to our first destination out of Colombo, which is Kalpatia. And here people actually do stop at zebra crossings, as you can see. I just did right now. Bajaj Pulsar 150 on my left side, and a lot of Bajaj motorcycles here and autos. And just look inside this, there's a Hulk. Oh. So a bit of Pongal decorations here, and this so far is like Kerala, because there's not even one single stretch of even a few meters where you will not find shops or human population. And this is crazy till now. I think the further we go from Colombo, it should be better. Helmet shop on my left. Let's see if I can recognize any brand here. No. Is Exor available here? Probably. Well, school children are always thrilled to see the Dominar here, because it's pretty different. And Dominar is actually not sold here in Sri Lanka, and is actually bigger than 95% of the two-wheelers. So you can see on the left, they are looking at the Dominar as if it's a superbike or something. But I tell you, with this traffic, 129 kilometers in 2 hours 50 minutes sounds about right here. First road where there is less traffic. And oh my god, it's incredibly tiring riding in this traffic, I'm telling you. It is insane. I mean, so many cars, so many people. There is no break. I mean, there is no countryside where there might be less traffic or empty stretch of road. Everywhere there is so much development. Alright, see the bus, the guys in the bus, they've gone crazy, huh? Need for speed most wanted लिखा हुआ है लेफ्ट में. मतलब चुन के लगाते हैं स्टिकर यहाँ पे. यहाँ पे एक्चुअली में नीड फॉर स्पीड है, बिकॉज अभी तक मैं इस पूरे स्ट्रेच पे 100 पे नहीं पहुँचा जब से कोलंबो से निकले हैं. Oh my god. So finally we have got little respite from traffic, and here is a little taste of what holds for us in Sri Lanka. And this is quite interesting, although I don't understand what is this, but quite beautiful, and is actually in the middle of the highway. And there they go.
Getting the paperwork done in Colombo and crawling out of it through traffic costed us a better part of the day, and we had to change our destination for day number 1 of our ride. So instead of riding to Kalpatia, we decided to ride straight to Anuradhapura, which was our destination for day 2.
First day in Sri Lanka, and well, Not even a single divided road, but the traffic has become little better. And this beautiful clock tower here is the most interesting thing that I have seen in the last 100 kilometers or so. Today we are going to Anuradhapura, which is famous for its temples, ancient temples. So we will see how that goes. There is a peacock on the road. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. And you can find such scenes also here in Sri Lanka. Feels like home. People actually wear jackets with the name of the bikes here. I mean, look at this guy on the left. He has this jacket with hunk written on it. So we met this gentleman on the way. What do you think? Are you afraid? Why is this gentleman placed here? I don't understand. But I like it. Kind of looks like the new iPhone Pro, doesn't it? Yeah. And see, it's also written Anuradhapura, the place that we are going to go. Good detailing. Can you listen to the sound? The rap which is going on here is like crazy rap. I've never heard such a rap anywhere in a fuel pump. This is Sri Lankan music.
It was a very tiring day and we reached the ancient city of Anuradhapura well past the sunset. Looking forward to exploring the country over the next 3-4 days.